of the dais, and let me specially call Mr. Abdul Basir's wonderful work. In fact, science has been on the back seat in our country right now because we have been focusing mostly on technology and engineering school. So any heading on science, as you all aware, science is the basis for engineering and technology. When you call science, science is a theory. Engineering is the application of the theory into a practical possibility. Then technology is the application of engineering into the human life. So everything starts from science. So I'm so happy the moment Abdul was mentioning about this program, I was so charged up. And once again, I must congratulate Panimalar Engineering College for proposing this great event. As you all know, in '84, that's the time I passed out of my engineering, I see a lot of research comes out of our country. And we were the leaders in research in Asia. But today we are slowly moving to the back seat because research has been pushed on the back seat. There are two reasons I could think. One is failures are not accepted in this country. If a boy do a research or do something to start, and if he delays, everyone used to pull him down. But allow failures to go. Every successful industry, every successful research has gone through a lot of failures. As you are aware, every history of the great scientists, they had more failures than a very little success. So let us focus and take it forward. So this initiative is wonderful initiative. And I must be very proud. There are a lot of children have come here for this, their presentation and their skill of research to show. And though you may choose one person as the best innovation, but just don't ignore the rest of them. So every innovation is needed in this country. As you know, see, the days of United States has gone well above everyone in the world is because of their continuous research and development. You see, today the fund is always for the startup. How startup funds are being done is only based on innovation. Where is innovation comes? It comes from research. So research will be the basis for your startup, and startup will be your basis for a large dream for an Indian. So research is a fundamental. So let us pat all these children who have brought in their great research work. I have few advice to people who go into research. In fact, I had an opportunity to do my research when I was just 22 years. I joined my PhD program. I completed my PhD at the age of 25. So I had a very early start in research. So I do see research will put everyone into a new perspective of thinking. So how really you can focus your research? In my little experience of the past, I would like to share among you children. One is try to look for a complex problem. Always trying to look for a complex problem. See, problems are there everywhere, but try to look for a very complex problem so that you will be very unique in doing your complex problem solving. Then, of course, you must have out-of-box thinking. We call it critical thinking. So critical thinking is a very basis for research innovation. Then, of course, creativity. Creativity is the basis for any research. So any researcher is looked for a great creativity. So the creativity, you will read science, you read engineering, you work on technology, but if you add creativity in that, your product is really will be successful. Most important point is people management. See, this people management, the intrapersonal relationship among your professors, your guide and your associate is so very important for a researcher to be a successful research scholar. Then coordinating with colleagues. how to coordinate with the colleagues. I think these things are very basis. We are only talking about research methodology, but we also should talk about research skill. This should be mandatory. I see this is mandatory in MIT and many of the universities I have seen. Before you go through a research program, they try to make you for a research perfect student. So they activate so many thoughts in you before you do start the research. Then the emotional intelligence. I do see people of this part of the world, they have a lot of emotional issues. Their presentation, when they come before the dais, they are very weak. I do see a lot of young, brilliant children who come to present their research papers. I do see they are not confident. They know the subject, they did a lot of hard work. When it comes to the presentation, they go on a back seat. They need someone to prod them. So look, this is very important. Please develop a lot of emotional skills. Try to stand up and speak yourself far better. Otherwise, you are not recognized. You have to be very firm. If you are sure of something, if somebody is trying to mislead, I see in Viva Voice, many other children are being misled sometimes, and you should be firm and stand on your point and try to give a proper proof. Build your emotional skills. Then the judgment. Whenever you go through a problem, you have to be very decisive and you must have a clear judgment as what you are trying to propose. And your judgment matters a lot. So for a research scholar, the judgment is very, very important. Then be it service orientation. Today, as you all aware, the industry 4.0 is ruling around the world. At least 98% of German companies have complied industry 4.0. We are a country, we look forward to exports and we build our systems to the international standards. So coming to the 4.0 industrialization, it's all being service oriented. It's no more intensive on product. It's mostly service oriented. Be it your AI application, be it your data analytics, be it your IoT, it's more service oriented. So whenever you look at a problem in your research, be it focus more on the service orientation. Of course, cognitive flexibility is very, very important. As you all know, we are human beings, we have the great quality of cognitive intelligence. But apply with the flexibility, your cognitive flexibility and approach. Whenever you have a problem, try to apply your lateral thinking. Build your own ideas and try to be more cognitive efficient. So the product outcome will be phenomenal. So I need the skills to be definitely important among the children. And someone has to take a pain. I think the guides, research guides who have come, distinguished guides, you have got plenty of experience in the past and you have been guiding so many children. Please impart them these 10 skills. I really want to be imparted to them so that they will be industry ready. See, research doesn't stop. Unfortunately in India, many of the research fellows, they do the research, get into some university and continue to teach. Once they get into the university, their paper presentation is plenty. They do a lot of paper presentation, but product development is not there. Very unfortunate point today, we have product services in India, be it Microsoft, be it any product which comes from overseas, we do a service. We don't build our own. You know why? We are not moving into the development aspect of it. In fact, India is contributing about 10% of the Asian investment on research. We do close to about $6 billion on investment. It's about 10% of our GDP. Our total expenditure is put on investment to research. But this research input is not being fully utilized. That is a very sad point to hear, because with the number of engineering colleges, institutions in India, we could have been one of those great product country in the world, but we are lagging today. I'm happy to see my great friend who did PhD with me. His name is Kai-Fu Lee. He's a big name in AI. When I met him in a university meeting at MIT, Kai-Fu was telling me, India, see, the competition in AI development is happening between China and the United States and rest of the world. There is nowhere India is standing. We have the most number of engineering technology students here. Why is that we are not moving into that? Is essentially because we stop our research to just get a degree. We don't go further. So any students who do a PhD, they should not stop just teaching. They must go ahead and do for product development. I wish institutions like this should create incubators, lot of incubators, support the children. Today, I know, in fact, I was in the policy meeting, the government of Tamil Nadu is giving 10% of your startup cost as a subsidy. I don't think many of the children knows here. So you are given 10% of your startup cost as a subsidy by the government. So you innovate product, get your assistance. On top of it, the moment you get an assistance from a government body or anything, you have angel investors and investors around the world is waiting to pick you up. Build your talent. See, look, don't really furnish yourself, get back to your college or some job as a software engineer. Proceed yourself as an innovator. So this is a great effort by this institution. They have brought in so much of value for science development and technology. I wish this should grow heaps and bounds. And one more thing, India is a country, we are very superior in terms of nuclear, some nuclear field. We have built the first nuclear explosion in 1974. See, we are one of course, thanks to Russia. With Russia's support, we were able to build nuclear reactors in India, and we were able to build a lot of missiles ourselves. We are one of the first in the world. It's in 1974 we did. But there are a lot of such innovation would have proceed from then. But the innovation from then, today, we have not achieved anyway great. We can do that. So that is where the institution plays a lot of role. I think every child I see, they just want to complete a course and they want to get into the regular, campus interview, getting into a job and code and so on. But I see phenomenal talent from our young children. But why not they focus in building real research products? So we have areas like this, and of course we are in space, we are one of the top 7 countries in the world. That's what we have seen now. We have got plenty of research which is going on. And today the defense corridor has been opened in Tamil Nadu. We have got a great defense corridor where you young children can go with a lot of your idea as a startup. And India is, they are funding for it. And international companies also look for talents here. I think every time when I see the amount of research outcome that comes out of countries like Israel is mind-boggling. But in terms of population, they are very, very small compared to India. They are not even 10% of what we are. Well, how is it that they are able to do that? So we may have to rethink. I think the teachers has to really drive this among the children to bring about more research which are most oriented towards technology, and that should really sweep the country. I have read a book before called Jugaad. Jugaad is something, that the book exercise was done after our visit to Gujarat. We went to see many of those rural innovation in Gujarat and rest of India, which was amazing. So such rural innovation, children should take up into a real technology and make it possible in India. See, I did have relationship with Japan. I see the kind of innovation that is going on. Every little thing they innovate. Every, be it clean energy, be it, social environment, clean water, everything, there is a plenty of innovation that is going on. See, today I have about 30 field for you to do research. 30 great fields, starts from IoT and your data analytics, your robotics, your AI, your cloud computing. See, you have mind-boggling research areas, but the number of, we are only submitting papers. I won't say we are not submitting papers. India is one of those countries, the top 5 countries, which produce more research papers. But products coming out of these research papers is nothing. So let's make it more a product-oriented country. And let me thank every one of you for hosting such a great function. I mean, it's a great program towards science, and many such programs should go through, and let us all make India very proud. Thank you.